Witness me. Hi guys, as usually it's me, just a voiceover, and you're watching Review Machines. Today we will have the most epic off-road ride in the history of our channel, and probably not only our channel. Moreover, not just ride, it's going to be a real off-road raid in tough fight for the breathtaking prize. But about the price we'll speak later. This video will have a post-apocalyptic atmosphere from the old good Mad Max films. And before we start, I want to introduce to you all the heroes of Wastelands taking part in our raid today. And if you have seen other our videos, you might meet now many our old friends. Get comfortable, bloodbags. We are to start right now. The best ATV team of the Wastelands, ATV Club Northway. They managed to capture the best ATV quads, and they use them for fighting for rare and so valuable resources. Definitely one of the main candidates to win the great prize. Well-known war boys of the Wastelands, another serious candidate to take the prize today. Unlike Northway team, these guys prefer big cars, they worship a steering wheel and have V8 couch, and their leader, Immortan Joe, is absolutely sure he will take the prize. And this guy managed to gather rare resources and materials to make his own Rio tank. No matter he is alone, but with help of his tank, he will fight for the prize and keep up with all the others. Don't mess with him. Meet Nomad. He is also alone, but he knows the Wastelands like the palm of his hand. All the locations, hidden places, traps and other sites that may help him to win this raid. They say he used to be in Buzzard's gang, but now he is always alone. You see the worshipper of the post-apocalyptic cult Argo. The members of the cult worship great ATVs. They survive only due to these machines, and today the Argo cultist will fight for the prize to make his cult more prosperous and famous. The crazy genius engineer and inventor that can create extraordinary machines made of trash and little tools. Today he and his mate will take part in the raid, riding on this awesome reckless turbo buggy. With the engine 350 HP power, nobody can overtake them. Notorious Buzzards, one of the most known gangs of the Wastelands. In their raids they use swift little vehicles. They can go on them wherever they want. They may attack all of a sudden. It's tough to trace them, so they definitely will fight for the prize hardly. Well guys, I introduced to you all the teams that will take part in the raid. Let's not waste time anymore. We have a lot of things to do, so let's hit the road. All the teams and vehicles seem to be ready, and our raid starts here. Today we will have an exciting route with numerous obstacles. The further we go, the harder the conditions will be. The rules are absolutely clear. Our teams just have to get to the finish, but I should say it's quite a hard task. Now we are going on a flat ground, but we will reach the toxic swamps Valley, and there we will see what our teams and vehicles can do in tough conditions. By the way, guys, if you took part in such a raid, what kind of vehicle would you choose? A heavy off-roader, a quad, an insane buggy, a tiny ATV, or maybe a tank? Post your comments, what machine do you think has more chances to win this competition? And we, meantime, are approaching to the wild part of the wastelands. And here our teams choose the different ways. The war boys on their big off-roaders take the shortest but the hardest way, and most teams follow them. But ATV Club Northway takes another way. They decide to go through the forest, cause they are able to go between the trees on the quads. It's a longer, but maybe not so complicated route. We join the most teams and are moving on the main and hardest route. All the machines still overcome all the obstacles and don't have any serious problems, but the competition between them is getting harder. Two off-roaders of the War Boys show quite impressive results. They are effective and reliable machines, Niva and Uaz, prepared very thoroughly to survive in wastelands. Their standard petrol engines were replaced with reliable diesels. There are all possible logs, big low-pressure tires, winches and so on. We are watching now tracked ATV Argo cutting its way through the wastelands. No matter what it has under its tracks, dirt or sand, snow or swamp, this machine is effective everywhere. It's equipped with a reliable V-Type 30 HP engine cooler. There are almost no any drawbacks, maybe only one: its price. It's expensive machine, and every gang of the wastelands is looking forward to get it. The owner of the tank feels safe and secure in his cozy cabin, but on the other hand, he is not so fast as others. Nevertheless, the tank is quite efficient on rough ground, and he gets over all the obstacles he faces. The machine is equipped with powerful but glutinous gasoline engine. It's very reliable, but needs much fuel, and that is the main disadvantage of the tank. In other respects, it's an effective machine, with electric steering of the turret and serious weapon in its inventory. As to the buzzards, these little maneuverable vehicles are able to get any place they want, so they scour in surroundings in search of something valuable and trying to find the shortest way to the prize of the raid. They are equipped with small engines, so they need very little fuel. But there are two real tracks with constant drive, so they are rather capable even in the toughest conditions. The perfect transport for scouting and sudden attacks. The flip side, it doesn't have any cabin and can't protect its rider from a toxic rains. A genius engineer of the wastelands with his buggy has all chances to win the prize today. Just think of it. His turbo buggy with V8 engine 350 HP, with the weight of the machine only 500 kilos. Yes, it's rear-wheel drive vehicle, but it's so light and powerful that sometimes literally flies over the toughest off-roading. It's simple and reliable. It has quite an effective suspension system and durable frame, but unfortunately, this team has a bad luck today. When getting over one of the puddles, water gets into the turbocharger and it blows up. It seems the first team is leaving the raid. Witness then. The nomad of the wastelands and his ATV bike, he's always alone, and he needs nobody to survive in this cruel post-apocalyptic world. He knows his bike like the palm of his hand. He is a genius rider, and he can go there, where even big off-roaders are powerless. His bike is simple and very reliable. It's light and effective both in mud and sand. Despite the Nomad is alone, he is a serious competitor for any gang of the wastelands taking part in our raid today. Meantime, the wildlands are getting wilder, the forest is disappearing, and the ground is getting loose. It seems we reached the toxic swamps. It's snowing with grey radioactive snow, and it's getting harder to move for all the teams. The wild machines can barely move in swampy soil. Big off-roaders remain behind, getting stuck more and more often. The buzzards also have some problems because of the radioactive snow. They don't have any protection in their tiny vehicles. Only the Nomad is still keeping on moving, without any hesitation. He has a great experience, and he is not afraid of such things like toxic swamps and radioactive snow. The track machines are also moving forward without serious difficulties due to their great off-roading capabilities. The competition between the tank and Ergo is getting harder. They definitely might be considered as main candidates to win the prize, but suddenly some incident happens. As I said, the serious drawback of the tank is huge fuel consumption, and this time it again cuts much ice. The tank ran out of gas. He remains behind Argo, and he makes a desperate attempt to stop his competitor by shooting at him with his gun. Nice shot. Argo is definitely damaged, and it's not clear now if he is able to keep on moving. Suddenly we hear the roar of numerous motors, and ATV Club Northway appears on the scene. As we can see, all the teams that still survived are getting to the final part of the raid almost simultaneously. Wow, we are facing the most complicated part of the whole raid, the center of the severest toxic swamps. The depth of the swamp is too much for light vehicles of buzzards, the tank is out of fuel, the buggy got broken, but ATV Club Northway and War Boys are ready to keep on fighting for the prize. And don't forget about Argo, recovered after the shot. We'll see now what these teams can show us here. Let's go! And this is the final obstacle, the deep ditch, leading the way right to the great prize. Who is able to get over this deep ditch will take the prize, it's clear. The Northway is trying, and despite the deep toxic water of the swamp, one of the most powerful quad of the wastelands is desperately fighting here. It's so pleasure to watch it, isn't it? Well, ATV Club Northway is the first candidate to get the prize. Even the mutants of the swamp couldn't stop them.
Он ручной. Сейчас как выскочит, за яйца вцепится.
The next turn by the War Boys and his legendary Niva 4x4. Let's watch it. And it gets it over. Another candidate to get the prize is clear. But Argo is also here. It moves here slow and sure. In fact, it floats in this deep ditch. One of the advantages of this vehicle that it's an amphibious ATV. And we see now our leaders getting closer to the prize. You may ask, but what about Nomad? He didn't get over the final ditch. As I said, he knows the wastelands like the palm of his hand, and he used his own secret way to get to the prize. It isn't fair, isn't it? But the whole life in post-apocalyptic world isn't fair. The most cunning always win. And the only thing I should do to give the great prize of this raid to our winners. Here it is. The most valuable resource of the wastelands. Witness them. Well guys, thanks a lot for having a ride with us today. Please post your comments, what team do you like most of all? Consider subscribing the channel if you like this video. Stay with us, it will be many more interesting materials here. Goodbye.